The broadcast begins with tension already in the air. Jasmine Crockett leans forward, her voice cutting through the noise of the studio. "America deserves the truth," she declares, "and tonight, I will reveal the secret phone calls Donald Trump never wanted the public to hear." The audience gasps, a ripple of shock spreading across the room. Trump shifts in his seat, trying to smirk, but the words hang heavy. Crockett continues, each sentence deliberate, sharp, unflinching. "These are not rumors. These are recordings, and they expose conversations that strike at the very core of trust, power, and loyalty in this country." Trump interrupts, his voice rising. "Lies, pure lies. This is another witch hunt, another setup from the radical left." But Crockett doesn't flinch. She lifts a sheet of paper, the transcript of the first call, and says firmly, "Mr. Trump, the American people are about to hear your own words. No spin, no excuses, just the truth you thought would stay buried." The silence that follows is electric. Every camera is locked in. The country leans closer to their screens, sensing that something unprecedented is about to explode. The program is live, a high-stakes political broadcast where every word is carried straight into millions of homes. Donald Trump has positioned himself at center stage, eager to project dominance, repeating lines about loyalty, victory, and persecution. His supporters in the audience cheer at each familiar phrase, while critics glare, waiting for the moment to strike. Then Jasmine Crockett changes the entire rhythm. With calm precision, she names the stakes. Donald Trump used secret phone calls to shape decisions that should have been public. These calls are not with friends, not with advisors you'd expect. They are with figures whose names will stun every American listening tonight. The studio falls into a tense hush. The host attempts to steer back to regular questions, but Crockett presses forward. "This isn't about politics. It's about truth. Because when a former president speaks in secrecy to people who hold influence over policy and power, the public deserves to know who was on the line." Trump scoffs loudly, waving his hand as if brushing away the accusation. "More fake news. She's inventing things. There are no calls. There's no proof. Just another baseless attack because they're terrified of me." But Crockett cuts in sharply. "You can deny it all you want, Mr. Trump. The calls exist. And tonight, for the first time, America will hear the words you thought would never reach daylight." The camera zooms between them, Trump fuming, his face flushed, Crockett steady, her gaze unshaken. The clash of personalities is undeniable, the battle lines drawn right in front of the nation. Jasmine Crockett signals to the production team. A faint crackle comes through the speakers, and suddenly the studio is filled with the unmistakable sound of Donald Trump's voice from a recorded call. "I don't care what it costs," the recording booms. "Make sure it doesn't get traced back to me. Do you understand? I need this handled quietly." The audience gasps. Trump leaps forward in his seat, his face red with fury. "Outrageous! That's not me! That's doctored! You can't play that garbage on live television." Crockett doesn't blink. "This is your voice, Mr. Trump, on a line traced to your personal phone, and it's not the only call." Another clip plays. This time, Trump is heard saying, "We can't let the media find out who I spoke to. If this leaks, I'm finished. Lock it down." The studio erupts. Some viewers clap, others shout in disbelief. The host pleads for order, but the floodgates have opened. Crockett raises her voice above the noise. "These aren't just casual conversations. These are deliberate, calculated attempts to keep the American people in the dark. And it's not just one call, it's a pattern." Trump shouts back, slamming his hand on the table. "Witch hunt! Fabricated lies! I never said those things!" Crockett fires back instantly. "Then explain why these calls line up with secret meetings, closed-door deals, and sudden shifts in your public statements. Explain why you said one thing to America and another thing in private." The tension is unbearable. Every exchange builds like a drumbeat, each word louder, sharper, feeding the storm. Crockett presses harder. Trump fights to drown her out, and the studio transforms into a battlefield of voices, facts, and fury. Crockett raises her hand, silencing the chaos for a moment. She pulls out one final page, her voice steady, deliberate, every syllable designed to land like a hammer. "This is the call that matters most. Listen carefully, America." The audio rolls. Trump's voice, unmistakable, rings out with chilling clarity. "If this gets out, it destroys everything. Promise me you'll keep it buried. I'll make it worth your while." The words hang in the air like a thunderclap. The audience gasps, some covering their mouths in shock. The host stares wide-eyed, frozen in disbelief. Trump jumps from his seat, pointing an angry finger toward Crockett. "Fake! Manipulated trash! You're trying to frame me!" But Crockett doesn't waver. "These are your words, Mr. Trump. Your promises, your fear, and your attempt to buy silence." Trump's voice rises into a roar. "This is a disgrace. You people are all corrupt. This is a setup. I will not sit here and be slandered on live television." But the damage is done. The clip continues to echo in people's minds, the raw desperation, the plea to bury the truth. Crockett's voice cuts through the uproar. "You said it yourself. If the truth gets out, it destroys everything. Tonight the truth is out, and America is watching." The studio explodes in shouts and applause, the weight of the revelation crashing over every viewer at home. In that moment, the fight is no longer about politics. It is about survival, credibility, and the raw power of truth versus denial. The studio is still roaring, the echoes of Trump's denials crashing against Crockett's revelations. The host begs for calm, but the audience has already split in two, half shouting in rage, half applauding every word Crockett delivers. She raises her voice, her tone slicing through the storm. "This is not about me. This is not about Donald Trump. This is about the people who trusted him, who believed every promise, who thought their leader would stand for truth. Instead, we hear his voice bargaining in the shadows, hiding from the very citizens he once swore to serve." Trump shouts back, desperate to reclaim control. "Lies, every bit of it. You don't have the guts to face me without these fake tapes. You're a fraud, and everyone knows it." But Crockett counters instantly, her words sharp as a blade. "If these recordings are fake, Mr. Trump, then why do they match your timeline? Why do they correspond with sudden shifts in your public statements, your secret meetings, your unexplained decisions? You can scream all you want, but the facts are here. Your voice condemns you." The audience gasps again. Some of Trump's supporters begin to argue among themselves, their certainty shaken. Others double down, chanting his name louder as if trying to drown out the evidence itself. The cameras sweep across the scene, chaos, disbelief, fury, and conviction colliding in one broadcast. Crockett stands firm, her final words steady, unwavering. Tonight, the curtain has been pulled back. For years, Americans were told to ignore the whispers, to dismiss the rumors, to believe that secrecy was strength. But when a leader hides in the dark, when he fears the light of truth, it's the people who pay the price. And now, the truth is here. The truth is undeniable, and the truth is why he is terrified. Trump tries one last time, pounding the desk. "You will regret this. Everyone in America will see through your lies." But Crockett does not look away. She delivers the closing blow. "No, Mr. Trump. Tonight, America saw through yours." The audience erupts, the divide sharper than ever, yet the revelation impossible to ignore. The broadcast cuts to black, leaving a nation stunned, outraged, and electrified by what it has just witnessed. Across living rooms, phones, and screens everywhere, the words echo, "The truth is out, and nothing will ever be the same."